I want you to know that Miss Rhode Island is back. She is fine. They hydrated her at the hospital last night. She is going to be just fine. She's going to be performing in the talent competition tonight, and all is well. So thank you. Thank you for your prayers and your concern. We had a great group taking care of her immediately, and I was very proud of Mary Blackburn and her team of hostesses and our medical personnel who stepped forward and made this happen the right way. So, we have an exciting press conference for you today. We're going to be meeting and talking with our esteemed panel of judges. And I must say, after doing this for 9 years, this is one of the most collaborative, most collegiately minded judges panels that we've ever had. And 2 of them are returnees. 2 of them were with us before. So it's kind of like we have a couple of all-stars coming back. But they are looking at every single contestant, giving every single one of them the opportunity to shine, and finding everything that's positive about her. Every single one of them will be noticed. Every single one of them will be pointed accurately. And when we come up with the top 15 this year, it's going to be the best top 15, I'm certain, that we've ever had. So with no further ado, our first judge is award-winning writer-producer Marc Cherry. Marc has created, yes, Marc was on our 90th anniversary panel, and he has created and executive produced some of TV's greatest hits, including The Golden Girls, The 5 Mrs. Buchanans, Devious Maids, and Desperate Housewives. We're thrilled to have you, Marc. Thank you for being my friend. Our next judge, Donald Driver, the former Green Bay Packer All-Stars, an all-time leading receiver, a Super Bowl champion, Dancing with the Stars champion, New York Times best-selling author, and award-winning humanitarian. Please welcome Donald Driver. Kathy Ireland. Kathy is CEO and Chief Designer of Kathy Ireland Worldwide, the design and marketing firm founded in 1993. Kathy Ireland took a pair of tennis socks and turned it into an almost $2 billion brand. It's pretty amazing. And the other thing I want you to know is that Kathy Ireland and my wife Mary starred in 2 of Hallmark's highest rated Christmas movies, Once Upon a Christmas and Twice Upon a Christmas. And they are now through Macy's and Kathy Ireland Worldwide putting together an incredible collection of Christmas china called the Once Upon a Christmas Collection. Kathy Ireland. Shawn Johnson. Shawn is also one of our all-star returning judges. We were so impressed with her the first time, we wanted to have her back. She was only 17 years old when she judged Miss America for the first time. And what you need to know about her is not only was she the recipient of a gold medal in the balance beam in 2008 in Beijing, but she also won 3 additional silver medals. But here's what I'm more impressed about than anything. She's also now going to nursing school. She is using what she has gained from the world of gymnastics, and she's going to put it to use as a pediatric nurse, and I think that's just awesome. Welcome, Shawn. General Anne MacDonald. Yes, Anne is a brigadier general. She graduated from West Point in 1980 in the first gender-integrated class, and she served over 30 years in the Army. She's a senior Army aviator qualified as a UH-60 Black Hawk pilot. She's a paratrooper and an air assault qualified soldier. Please welcome General MacDonald. I actually had someone ask me if she was a former Miss America the other day. You could have been. You could have been. Our 60th anniversary Miss America, Lee Meriwether, the first Miss America crowned on network television in September of 1954. She was crowned Miss America in 1955. She went on to become quite the iconic and successful actress and humanitarian. Her most notable roles were Betty in the highly successful series Barnaby Jones, for which she earned Emmy nominations and Golden Globe nominations, as well as the iconic Catwoman in the 1965 Batman the movie. Please welcome Lee Meriwether. And last but certainly not least, Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary's an ambitious entrepreneur, author, and CEO of VaynerMedia. With national television appearances on 60 Minutes, The Today Show, and Ellen, he's become one of the nation's leading social media experts. He joined his family business in high school and became a lover of collecting wine, which led to his first big e-commerce venture, WineLibrary.com. Please welcome Gary Vaynerchuk. So we're going to take questions. This microphone will be used on this side, and I'm going to take this one down as we get your questions and pass it to the people on my left. But we'd like your questions to be kept to the Miss America pageant. I know there's a lot of interesting people up here, and there are questions you might like to ask about other things, but we'd like to focus on the Miss America pageant. So I will moderate. First question. Yes, sir.
For Shawn and for Marc, since you both judged before, you've accepted the challenge of coming back to do this again, I'm curious if you reflect back on your experience judging before and what contributed to your willingness to come back and do this again.
Thank you.
I would say for me, I got the call to come back, and it was a no-brainer. When I came here I had just turned 18, coming off of the Olympics, I was full athlete. It was all about hardcore, rough, tough, sweating, blood and tears, and didn't really know what the pageant world was about. So when I came in, I was so humbled. These girls are some of the most intelligent, smart individuals I've ever met. And, you know, talking to Donald, who has daughters and stuff, I would want my daughters to be a part of this organization. So that's why I came back.
There were two things for me. My first panel in 2011, the panel included Marilu Henner, Joy Behar, Tony Davaloni from Dancing with the Stars, Taryn Rose, a very famous orthopedic surgeon turned shoe designer, Mark Wills, a country singer, and Debbie Turner, a former Miss America. We had a blast, so much so that Tony and Mark Wills and Taryn and I came back the following year just to be in the audience at the Miss America pageant. So it was, it was just a lovely group of people. And I was so overwhelmed by how much I fell in love with the girls. I don't have children. And boy, I felt like I got to meet that year 53 women that I would be proud of to have as my daughter. And the experience was very emotional for me because I became suddenly so aware of the importance of what this organization does, and by selecting someone to be a representative of the best of young womanhood in America, it suddenly became very important to me. So when I talked to Sam, and we were at a breakfast which had nothing to do with this pageant, it was about something else, and then suddenly he said, would you ever consider, I jumped at the chance. And I have to say that the really cool thing about this group of judges, I already knew Lee. Lee and I socialized already, so that was an easy one. But the thing that became so great about this group of judges is they really impressed me because our style is a little bit different this year. We are a tough group. We ask probing questions. You can be assured that whoever is selected as Miss America has been grilled thoroughly, and you are looking at some tough questionnaires here. So again, I'm just having the best time, and now my only problem is to see if Sam will let me judge again for a third time.
Thank you. Next question. Yes, ma'am.
Last night, all the girls are stunning. How do you pick a score to be a winner? What makes one stand out so much? They're all so stunning.
The question is, with all of them looking so stunning, how are you able to pick one who stands out among the others? And Gary's going to take that question.
You know, I think at the end of the day, that's what the number 7 really allows us to get to, right? At the end of the day, the true answer to your question is, it's a subjective opinion of an individual, and by having 7 different points of view, 7 different levels of context, it rounds out to the scoring system. And math is your friend in scenarios here, and so we end up in that place. But I think for everybody here, it's, I think we all define a healthy body in a different way, and I'm sure we have different variables, and I think net, the different aspects. And I actually think it's very strategic. As a business guy, I think a lot about strategy. It's strategic that we're getting context on each other, and all these variables ultimately help us get to that point.
Would anyone else like to take that?
The one thing I would add is, it's not just about their bodies. How a young woman comports herself down a runway, her sense of elegance and style. Some of these women walk with so much dignity and self-confidence. When they radiate something like that, that actually helps us judge, because they're all pretty darn gorgeous. So at some point you just start to look what is shining from within. And to me, that was the determining factor for a lot of my highest scores.
I think all of us, when watching, enjoy their performances. And it's in the eye of the beholder. What strikes you may strike me differently. I go for immediate reaction to the girl's talent. That's, for me, for last night at least, that's what happened. And it usually does. Oh yes, it's going well, it's continuing, it's all of this. That's really how I do it for talent, but for the others, yes, I do look at the girls. I look at it, of course, from a different point of view, because I've been there. I know what they're going through. I know how nervous they are. I know they're shaking sometimes, but I understand that. I don't ever count that in any way as a detriment. I just know that they're nervous, and that will go away. But I have a great empathy for them, and I know that it will all work out in the end, because we are conscientious and we're going to do the perfect job.
Perfect, thank you. Next question. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I wanted to point out, if you pay attention to social media, obviously all of these contestants are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Does that influence you at all? Do you pay attention to it?
Our media expert, I think, would. Oh, all right.
Sure. One of the things that we've been talking with them about, Gary in particular is an expert in this, is their knowledge, their use of social media. This generation, it's critical for them as they're moving forward. They're great communicators for the Miss America organization, and it's been an amazing journey for us to learn their activity, their access, their knowledge of social media, their application to it. But it's a powerful tool, and it's most definitely something that we look at in this process.
Gary, why don't you jump in? I'm sorry, we'll come back to Anne. Go ahead.
I just want to say that these young women who are incredibly bright, incredibly motivated and passionate, have platforms that are near and dear to them. And they not only want to use their physical presence, but they have an opportunity to use social media to get their word out, to bring awareness, to educate and inform. And they have done that brilliantly, and I'm sure they'll continue to do that as they move forward, whether they are going to be the Miss America and bring it forward on a national level, or they return back to their states and continue to bring it to their state and back to their local area.
That's true. I love this question, and I love it because I almost throw it back to all of you. I mean, think about how much has changed in your world in the last 5 years because of this phenomenon that I've been paying attention to. I think this is an important year of relevance, and I think to not be massively paying attention to that would be really irrelevant. And so I think it's a factor, but we're not looking for the blunder. We're not looking for the controversial selfie. What I'm looking for, given that I think it's what I can bring, is can they communicate a story in an Instagram photo? And that's what we're looking for, the actual depth of communication skills that matter, not so much were they funny with their tweet.
I think you should also know that we met the girls for the first time on Monday when the interview process started. To best of my knowledge, none of us has ever gone on social media to check out their Facebook pages. So we only know them from our experience with them in the room and on the stage. So we had no prior knowledge to them. I don't think any of these people check their social media, and I don't do social media because I'm 52 and ancient. So what we know of them has occurred here in Atlantic City.
But good news for all of you that are wondering, we'll be fixing that situation by the end of the week.
Next question, yes, sir.
Stryker, after being on Dancing with the Stars, you have a different appreciation for the dancers on stage?
I have a true appreciation for the dancers on the stage. I was amazed last night. You know, doing that show, you get judged so many different ways. And I remember being on Dance with the Stars when Lynn Goodman kept giving me a low score, and I kept getting mad and mad and mad. So I know those girls see us across the room, and they're looking at us, and they're trying to give us the best performance that they can give. And we have to judge them off that. And it's not just me, myself, but the other 6 panels, we have to make sure that we're making the right choice, that that person can represent America.
This is for Dr. Shawn. What is it like being on the opposite side of the judges' table? Obviously, the judge in the NFL and the international scene.
It's a little bit easier. It's no pressure at all. But you know, I said this before. Is when you look at those girls, you see something in yourself, and you see the pressure that they're going through every single time. They're coming out to say, "I want to be Miss America." When I play football, the first thing I come out and say, "I want to be the best I can be in the National Football League." Even when I was on Dance with the Stars, I wanted to be the best dancer. So those women walk out there, the first thing that they're saying, "Can I represent America? Can I represent?" And I have 2 beautiful daughters. So when I look at those girls, I want to see my daughter in them. Could they be a role model for my daughter? Could they represent America in a quality way? So that's what I look for. So it's a good thing that you have different people with different backgrounds that can actually judge.
I was always joking through the interview process because I said I would not want to be on the other side anymore. We were really throwing out hard questions, but I think also another aspect for kind of the competitors here is we get really competitive being a judge. I mean, we saw last night that the awards are handed out to the top placers for the swimsuit and the talent. And it was the first time that we realized we actually chose that person. So now we're getting competitive. We're like, we have to pick the right one. We can't pick the wrong one. And it's another competition. It's always competition. So.
Was there another one back here?
What qualities are you looking for in a Miss America?
Why don't we let them all answer that? Let's start.
Yes, I think that would be great.
Let's start with Mark, and we'll work our way left. What qualities are you looking for in Miss America?
While I think that it's great to have a girl who has a good body, who is healthy, and I think it's great to have someone who's demonstrated some kind of talent. For me, they don't score the percentages how I would do them. For me, the interview is absolutely the most important. I want to feel comfortable with this young woman. I want to make sure that she rises above the pageant stereotype that so many are willing to dismiss Miss America with. And all the judges got to meet Nina Davulari on Sunday. And boy, after sitting with that gal, it just was apparent that we had a tough job ahead of us to get a young woman who possessed such poise, grace, confidence, ability to talk to people in a very real way and in a substantial way. And that's what you really want, is someone who will represent us. And how do you do that? By communicating ideas, by being able to take questions, answer them effectively, and just shine and charm all the while you're doing it. They certainly have that with Nina, who's just so lovely. And we're looking. I personally am looking for a gal who can do the same wonderful job.
I am looking for beauty, intelligence, somebody that's very charismatic. Someone that my daughter can look up to as a role model. And if that person can represent America, that's what I was looking for.
Thank you. I'm also looking for someone who our daughters can look up to, looking to someone who can connect with all of America, someone who is able to articulate and communicate her message. She can be brilliant and have the most compassionate heart, but if she's not able to communicate and connect, we're not going to get the benefit of that. I'm looking for someone with a servant's heart, who is truly about serving, and somebody who understands the vision and the mission of the Miss America organization, and that as passionate as she feels about her platform, that she recognizes that she's representing the brand of Miss America, and that she is in alignment with those values, that she's got to have stamina. If you all would see the schedule that Miss America has, it's truly humbling. She is expected to be on an airplane every 18 to 48 hours, living out of a suitcase. This is a woman with great energy, great commitment, dedication. She's got to be dependable and reliable. Brilliant, smart. It is an extraordinary job description. I truly can't think of another job description, but this will prepare her for anything that she's going to choose in life. It is going to give her a great start. And not just the winner, and as Marc shared with Nina, the judges last year did an extraordinary job. Nina epitomizes, in my opinion, Miss America. She is so brilliant, compassionate, connected. And so we've got our work ahead of us, and it's going to be hard.
I would say we're all looking for somewhat of the same girl, but trying to figure out something a little different to say. I mean, like it's all covered. They covered everything. I would say for me, coming from a sport that I deal with nothing but little girls, I would look for, and I don't know if it's what everybody else does, I would look for someone who's unique. I don't want the cookie cutter. I don't want, the person that has the same job as everybody else. We've met girls who are going into pediatric oncology, or that they want to invent a cure out of dog saliva, we heard the other day. I mean, it's fascinating. I want a girl who stands out, so when little girls look up to her, she can say, it's okay to be different, and I can still be beautiful. I feel like we've lost a little bit of that in today's society, so I'm looking for just someone who stands out a little differently.
I am looking for a woman who can represent America. I'm looking for someone, in addition to all those fabulous attributes you've heard, but a leader who can really show young women and men that anything is possible. Opportunities are available for everyone in our great country. Someone who can articulate confidently what her platform is and be able to move that forward. All of those traits the things that I'm looking for in this woman who's got an incredible job.
How true. Well, I'm actually fortunate to have two really beautiful daughters, and they're with me this week. And when I come back to the room, I look at them and I say, if I can just find one girl that has, out of the number that we have to choose from, to have the qualities that my daughters have, we'll be very, very lucky. And I'm, that's pretty much it. Because I've got great daughters. They are fantastic, and they would have, had they been in the system, I'm sure they probably would have won and been fabulous Miss Americas.
That was awesome. So before I give my answer, it's important for me that the media here and press gets this quote exactly correct, because if you don't, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble, and you'll see in a minute where I'm going. As somebody who spends his career analyzing social media, I spend an enormous amount of time analyzing the behavior and psychology of 11 to 16-year-old girls. And so where a lot of people have the context of their one or two daughters, I'm looking at a lot of behavior at scale, tens, if not hundreds of thousands of things that girls in America are doing right now. And so for me, I felt an enormous sense of responsibility, of relevance, right? A Miss America, every single one of these contestants has a platform that we should all be very proud of. Nobody's gonna look at their platform and say, well, that's not a worthy cause. The Miss America, back to the earlier question, that has the ability to translate that message to the actual young women of America who are spending the far majority of their time on mobile devices and platforms that are called Vine and Snapchat and Instagram, and not a lot of the platforms where Miss America is going to be by tradition, was something that I took very seriously given my context. So that's what I was looking for.
Awesome. Over here.
Shawn is one of the judges who have done this before. Do you have kind of a love-hate relationship? Because it's such an honor to keep coming back, but it's so stressful to choose between all these amazing contestants. How do you feel about it?
It's bittersweet. I mean, you meet 53 wonderful women, and just kind of like I trained for my sport. They've trained for this for so long. So to tell one of them that they're not Miss America, it's almost like you're telling them they're not good enough, but that's not what we're saying. And it's hard to like crush their dreams. It's kind of what I feel like. You'll see when you make the first cut, you're like, oh my gosh, it gets super personal. But again, we're just trying to pick the best girl out there for the job. They could all do it, but we're trying to find that one that sticks out. So it is hard. I remember the first year I was here, I think Brooke White was in our panel, and she actually started crying. So it gets emotional.
Right here.
For Miss America, Lee Meriwether. First, congratulations. 60 years of Miss America. It doesn't seem possible.
Now you know how old I am. Yes, go ahead.
And Sam said you were the first Miss America televised. Now everything is televised. They've heard everything's instant. How do you think in these many years that Miss America has evolved for you? What is your view on how it's evolved?
Oh, it's evolved amazingly. We had no platforms then. I wish that they had. I went out not knowing what to do. I finally started, because I was scheduled for a lot of speaking engagements in Kiwanis and the Lions Club and Junior Chamber of Commerce place and lunches, and I put on 20 pounds, and it was really, but I finally said, I really don't have anything that I'm supposed to say. So really, I'd like to answer your questions. And I made it a press conference, I guess. I don't know. That's how I spent my year. So it has, definitely. I'm so glad that we have platforms now where the girls have their programs that they are so passionate about. And they're wonderful platforms. It is going to be a difficult choice. It really, really is. This is an incredible year. I really do feel that.
And if I want to just add to
Yes,
what
yes.
Lee is saying, one of the things that I think is tremendous about what is going on in this organization is that Sam Haskell is rescuing an organization that was becoming irrelevant 10 years ago. And with the work he has done to get the girls out in the community, emphasizing the importance of their social platforms, revealing the girls, we demand that the girls have, as Kathy said, a servant's heart. This is now an organization where it's not just a girl who looks good in a swimsuit. It is about a young woman who is trying to make a difference in the world. We're looking for women who can make a difference in the world. And Sam has helped, with a lot of people around him, turn this organization into something that is going to be meaningful. With the partnership with Dick Clark Productions, we're going to see Miss America start to become more viable and available. We're going to see her on high-profile programs, so that suddenly the young women in America are going to be aware of this organization and the opportunities it provides in terms of scholarships and in terms of giving young women who do want to make a difference a place to go. And for me, that is probably the single most important part of what we're doing here today, is finding a woman who will show the path for the young women of tomorrow who want to make a difference. I do not believe that today's generation is apathetic. I think that there are just as many well-intentioned, powerful, good-hearted women as we've ever had in this country. And this organization says, hey, it's not about glitz, it's not about celebrity, it's about an opportunity to change this world and make it a better place. And we have met 53 women who have come in, and they all have their various ideas of how they're going to do it. And it is such an honor to be able to choose one of them.
Next question.
Having interviewed all 53 of this year's contestants, I'm curious to know how you feel about this group. What stood out most in your mind about this particular group of contestants? What you were most impressed with?
Let's have Donald take that one.
I was very impressed with how intelligent everyone is. That was the most important part, because they came in with so much grace. I mean, you saw when they walked through the door that every single one of them had the beauty. But when they spoke, the words that came out of their mouth was amazing. I mean, and I think this panel, we challenged them on every situation that's going on in this world today. And they answered it with so much grace and so much power. And that shows you that when it's all said and done, when these women, whoever we choose, that woman will represent America in a positive way. But the other 52 women will go on to be a truly empower this world. I saw it firsthand. So it was amazing. It was truly, truly amazing. And I'm glad that I get to stand up here and be able to pick with the rest of these 6 wonderful people, Miss America.
Anyone else like to take that?
So I'm really tough when I hire people for my companies. The thing that most stood out is that I am so excited that 52 of them aren't getting a job after this so that I can make some offers.
That's great. Next question. Okay, I have a question. And it has to do with the fact that these 7 people volunteer to come do this. They are not paid to give us... What? They are not paid, Mark, to give us 9 days of their undivided attention. So here's my question for each one of you. Why? We'll start
Oh, okay. I feel, thank you, Sam. I've already articulated my thing. I have a blast. This is a, what? Oh, you're so sweet. I have a blast. These people have now become family to me. So my thing is, this is not altruistic at all for me. I come, the people who run the organization are terrific and fun, and we just get to, exchange stories about our favorite Miss America moments, and I tell them how much I, love Phyllis George playing the piano. I still remember it. And we just talk and have a good time. And along the way, I feel like I make a connection to 53 fabulous women. So I've already gone over that. You tell them why you're here, Donald.
The reason why I'm here is I love what Miss America stands for. Sam, you are an amazing, amazing man. And what Miss America stands for is empowering women to be successful. You don't have that in today's society. Everyone we look at, we always say it's a man's job. I have a beautiful woman to my left that has been truly, truly successful. And I'm picking her brain every single day to try to find out how I can be more successful as a male. So when that's the reason I'm here, is because they are giving women opportunities. I mean, you think about what that crown stands for. It stands for service, scholarship, success, and style. Those women have to have every single thing to be able to wear that crown. So it is a privilege and an honor to be here.
Thank you, Donald. You're so kind. The legacy of Miss America, it's something we all know. Knowing Sam, the CEO and chair of Miss America, when he asked me to be a part of it, truly a privilege. And I knew the direction Sam was taking this organization. Mary had the contestants at the rescue mission just this week, the service element, the relevance that Marc spoke of. I've been so humbled. I knew it was going to be great, but it's exceeded my expectations. These women they're incredible. And so, as someone who came from a modeling background in the last century, my job description was shut up and pose. These women have it all going on. They're thinking on their feet. And I love that this organization celebrates the beauty from within, that it celebrates their talents, their brilliance, their hearts. It's not about it's so much more than physical appearance, and I love that, because I really reject that there is a certain ideal that we've all got to look a certain way. And Miss America celebrates the diversity of our country, and it gives little girls amazing role models. We're talking about social media at a time when children have messages communicated to them from every angle, nonstop. Miss America brings a role model that is a mom that I feel really great about communicating with our girls. And this Miss America, she's going to be someone that we're all going to be proud of.
Why?
Why? Furthering on everything, everybody said, again, for me, coming from my sport, Twitter, social media, Facebook, every girl that follows me makes up 90% of all of those hundreds of thousands of people. And when I coach, when I do conventions, and I see 10,000 9-year-olds, they don't really have a role model out in society right now. And so coming here, being a part of what Miss America stands for, we're picking a role model for them. And I've dealt with self-confidence issues, girls who don't think that they can go into the science realm because it's too boyish, and girls that think they can't do anything. And meeting those girls the other day, they will teach these girls coming out that they can do anything, and they could be the next Miss America. And Sam has done a phenomenal job. It's just an organization. We said we all want to come back every year from now on. We'll just be the permanent judges.
It'll be the Miss America All-Stars all over again.
I am here because I believe in the organization, and it's my way to be able to say thank you. Having been in the service and now a veteran, I have seen what the Miss Americas have done as they come overseas and talk to soldiers, the troops, and bring a little bit of America to the war zone. I was able to see a group of Miss Americas, to include Sam, who came over to Afghanistan wearing Kevlar and vests, putting their lives in jeopardy, deep jeopardy, very serious incident that occurred right after they left a particular area. And they're willing to make the sacrifice for Americans, and specifically for our service members. So it's my way of saying thank you for what they do in their service line to our service members and their families.
This is a question I didn't expect to be answering. I'm always available to come anytime, anywhere.
And Chris Harrison wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, yes, of course, there is always that. And my husband understands. Don't really understand. But anyway, no, it's such an important part of my life. It changed my life, the trajectory of my life, and where I was headed. It took a deep right change, and it was the right one and a wonderful change in my life. And so with Sharon and Sam saying, "Please come," and I said, "Of course, you don't have to beg." And I was thrilled to be asked, and I just, well, it's very exciting to be here and to see a lot of old friends. Really is. That's what's especially special. Thank you.
Spending all week judging if people are answering the question directly, I'm going to answer the question directly to why I took it. I was born in the former Soviet Union. I immigrated here when I was a little kid and grew up in Edison, New Jersey. So having it back here means a lot to me as a Jersey boy. Plus, Miss America 1984 through 1988, laying in my mom's bed with my sister and watching that competition and trying to guess who won, is a core early American story to my heart. So I'm here because I'm selfish, because it meant something to me growing up, and I thought it would mean a lot for me and my family, my sister and mom specifically, that I'm here. I was correct. They're both very emotional, excited, and I'm happy to do that.
That's so awesome. Thank you all for those incredible comments. In closing, I just want to say this, and this is what we've charged this group of talented and influential people to find for us. Miss America is not the most beautiful woman in the competition. She's not the best figure. She's not the best talent. She's not the best interview. May not have the best evening gown. Miss America is the young woman who scores in everything. She's the best all round. And their charge is to find the best all round to represent this class. And I know they're going to do it. And I believe Mark said it best when he said that Nina Davalori has done an incredible job. She has. All that the new Miss America has to do, if she's looking for someone to fall back on, if she's looking for someone to go to for advice, she need look no further than the young woman putting the crown on her head. Thank you so much.